On to a developing story this evening, with the UN Human Rights Council deciding to postpone the publication of the report of the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights Investigation on Sri Lanka, or OISL, the focus is now shifted to the Sri Lankan government.
What does the postponement of this report mean for the government, and what steps must and will government take in the 6-month time frame? Newsfirst sought answers.
The US-sponsored resolution on Sri Lanka at the UN Human Rights Council in March last year mandated the OCHR to conduct an investigation on alleged war crimes committed during the conflict in Sri Lanka and to submit a report to the Council. Prince Zaid Rad Al Hussein, who succeeded Navi Pillay as the UN Human Rights Chief, said the OISL report would be submitted in March this year. On the 9th of January, Sri Lanka ushered in a new head of state and a new government. Among the first foreign representatives to visit the country under the new government were from the co-sponsors of the resolution, the US and the UK. Both the US Assistant Secretary of State, Nisha Biswal, and the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office Minister, Hugo Swire, stressed that they welcomed the new government and hoped that it would move forward on reconciliation. On Monday, Zaid Al Hussein, in a letter to the President of the UN Human Rights Council, recommended the postponement of the publication of the OISL report on a request made by Sri Lanka. We questioned Cabinet spokesperson Minister Rajitha Senaratne on what sort of request was made and what steps Sri Lanka would take in the 6 months.
The extension given is a very good, very big victory for Sri Lanka, because we always maintained, even in our manifesto we said, we are against an external inquiry, that we will have our own inquiry according to our norms, but to the international standards, to the international norms. No, they will not come here in the next 6 months. We will have our own investigation, something like LLRC, and to show the true picture of this thing. Because when they internationally, they have only think about the human rights. Why this had taken place? Were there any reasons for that? Also, we can add into our from our inquiry. And not the fresh investigation, we have gathered a lot of information. The LLRC also has gathered information. We will have to collect all that and investigate and see whether there were any war crime taken place in this country.
Meanwhile, Hugo Swire urged all sides to continue to work together to ensure that the OCHR's report on Sri Lanka, now due in September, is thorough and consistent. Speaking the day after the Human Rights Council agreed to defer publication of the report, Swire welcomed the opportunity for contribution from the Sri Lankan government and restated the UK's commitment to seeing this report published. He said, quote, "In the meantime, the new government of Sri Lanka must use this time to work with the High Commissioner and his office and to engage with the broadest possible spectrum of civil society groups within Sri Lanka in order to make progress on reconciliation, accountability and human rights." Unquote. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has stressed the importance for Sri Lanka to show firm commitment to accountability, reconciliation and human rights.